Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here, NBC Sports Bay Area. This is your Tuesday update. It is a one day of media availability with the 49ers. So Kyle Shanahan spoke, Brock Purdy spoke, Nick Sorensen is planning to speak, but I am recording this before that. Kyle Shanahan gave the practice report before practice. They are going to practice at 5:30 p.m. at inside the stadium because of the lights there on the practice field. There aren't enough lights for them to practice out there, so they will be practicing on the field, the game field in Levi Stadium at 5:30 p.m. today. Um, but who is out of practice? Ben Barch, high ankle sprain, he will go on IR. Still no Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. Both of those two guys are out. Also, Isaac Guerendo not practicing on Tuesday. As far as limited, it is D. Winters, Malik Mustafa, Dre Greenlaw, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, and Yetur Gross-Matos. All those guys are limited. I would expect them to play. I also expect Dre Greenlaw to make his return on Thursday night versus the Rams. And man, I mean, we saw how energized Talanoa Hufanga was on the field and how he brought the energy with him and how it was infectious. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Dre Greenlaw's return. I mean, I have been watching Dre Greenlaw at practice for months, and he was supposed to come back week 9, week 10, maybe week 11, maybe after the bye. And he has been itching to come back. He's been on the side of the of sidelines during games. He's been pumping guys up when they come off the field after making big plays. When the 49ers, shut the opposing team down on a third down, get off the field for a fourth, Dre Greenlaw is there to greet everybody as they're coming off the sidelines. So I just think what Dre Greenlaw brings to the game, he's an enforcer, as is Talanoa Hufanga, as is Malik Mustafa. Um, Fred Warner says it the best. Those are the guys that bring the boomstick. And so for Dre Greenlaw to make his return versus the Los Angeles Rams, I mean, I can't imagine any other way to infuse some energy into a must-win situation than Dre Greenlaw being back on the field. So that is I mean, Kyle Shanahan didn't say it, and I do think though that the move that they make, Ben Barch goes on IR, that opens a spot for Dre Greenlaw. He is back on the field on Thursday. Other news, Deebo Samuel posted that he's not struggling, he's just not getting the ball. And then he kind of clarified that it wasn't throwing anyone under the bus. And, Kyle Shanahan said, it hasn't been because they haven't wanted to get on the ball. Brock Purdy said it wasn't because they haven't wanted to get on the ball. They want Deebo to do Deebo things. That's exactly what Brock said. And so I think that, Deebo has always been a Rams killer. He has been the guy who has put the team on his back when they've played the Rams, and I would expect Thursday night to be nothing but the same. I know it's frustrating for guys who have been, have 100 yards in production normally for them to have 20 to 25 yards, which is what Deebo Samuel has had over the past 4 or 5 games. I mean, he just hasn't had the production that we've seen in the past. So, the last 4 games, 20, 21, 22 yards. The week before that, 62 yards versus Tampa Bay, 71 versus Dallas. But really his last big game was versus Seattle. He had, 3 catches for 102 yards and a touchdown. One was a 76-yarder. So, I mean, Deebo Samuel just needs to get the opportunity to break one. And we saw Isaac Guerendo get one, a couple of those last week. And I think it's just, it's Deebo Samuel having the opportunities. And it's not that he is being held back by anyone on the team or any of the management or anything like that. It just hasn't been his opportunity. And I think with younger guys on the offensive line or, not the same guys that they've had in the past, it does make a little bit of a difference. The blocking that happens for Deebo Samuel to get out of the backfield. I mean, those plays have to be perfectly blocked to get him out past the first level to the second where he can take advantage and run people over. So I think Deebo Samuel is set to have a huge game. It's been 4 that he's had only 22, 21 yards. 22 has been his high. He's due. He is due. And I think, part of getting on social media is similar to Fred Warner telling everybody that, hey, I've been playing with a fracture in my ankle since week 4. Everybody expects so much from all of these players that are captains, that are all pros. Deebo Samuel has been a guy who's been incredibly productive for the team. So As much as guys try to stay off social media and not listen to the outside voices, it does get to them because their family listens to it or their friends listen to it. And, hey, you're not going to believe what these people are saying about you. And, we were saying Fred Warner's production had dropped off, and we weren't saying anything slanderous, but he played better in the first 4 weeks of the season than I've ever seen him play in his life, in his career. And then once he had the ankle injury, he wasn't playing as well. And it turns out it's because he's been playing on 1.5 feet or maybe just 1 foot. So sometimes I can see why Deebo Samuel took to social media to say that, not to say that it's the best choice, and Kyle Shanahan would have preferred it stayed in house. But, it is what happens. Sometimes players want to say, hey, it's not me. Like Fred Warner wanted to say, it's not me. I've got half an ankle. So I kind of understand. Outside of that, great speeches from Brock Purdy and Diamador Lenore on the night before the game, and I expect there to be another team meeting. They always have a team meeting the night before a game, but for players again to speak up and talk about how it is a must-win game on Thursday. And I'm, you know, it's funny because Kyle Shanahan was like, I'm not superstitious, I'm a little stitious. So a lot of times when, something works, they go back to it. So I would maybe expect Brock Purdy or maybe Diamond Lenore to get up in front of the team again to say, hey, we did it last time, we've got to do it again. Wouldn't be a stretch for Dre Greenlaw to say something either, and being his return to the field. So this team has to play better. They have to perform. They have to have a game similar to what they did against the Chicago Bears. The Los Angeles Rams, though, they are a better team, but maybe they're coming off that emotional win over the Buffalo Bills, which was a crazy game. So, you know, there's always a chance. Any given Thursday or Sunday, the 49ers could pull it out and they could keep their playoff hopes alive. There is a chance. So, with that, I'm going to end this here. We'll do another update on Wednesday, but if I hear anything else about who's going to play or who's not, I'll definitely give you an update. But as of right now, no practice for Ben Barch, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Isaac Guerendo. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. They have to officially rule in or out on Thursday. I have a feeling Isaac Guerendo will probably be questionable. We'll see what happens. All right. Take care. Also, don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends, and follow me on other platforms: Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and maybe the other one. Bye.